My beloved brother and sisters, when you wake up in the morning and the world feels loud, when everything and everyone seems to pull at your heart, remember this. Your peace is not weakness. It is not silence in surrender. It is strength wrapped in serenity. Peace is not found in the absence of storms, but in the stillness of your soul amidst them. It's the quiet confidence that no matter what comes, you are anchored in something greater. Too often, we hand our peace to people, into problems, to the noise around us. But peace is sacred. It's the space where your faith breathes, where clarity lives, and where your power begins. Because when you are at peace, you are unshakable, unbreakable, unstoppable. And the world can no longer control you. It can only watch you rise. There is a kind of strength that doesn't roar. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't fight to be seen. And it doesn't demand to be right. It's the kind of strength that exists quietly deep within the heart of a person who has found peace. You see, peace is not weakness. It is not the absence of storms, but the presence of calm within them. When you are at peace, you become unshakable, not because life stops testing you, but because your soul stops depending on everything around you to be still. The world can break around you, yet somehow you remain whole. You learn that your peace is not found in the approval of others, nor in the perfection of circumstances, but in the deep, unchanging connection you have with your Creator, with your purpose, and with yourself. The more you learn to rest in that space, the less power chaos has over you. The world will constantly try to disturb your peace. It will whisper insecurities into your ear, compare your journey with someone else's, and make you feel like you are falling behind. But that's where the true test begins. When you choose to no longer be at the mercy of your emotions or your environment. Peace is not found by controlling everything outside of you. It's found by mastering what's within you. It's when you say, even if everything is taken from me, even if no one understands me, even if I don't have all the answers, I will still choose peace. That choice is not passive. It's powerful because it means you refuse to let fear dictate your actions. You refuse to let anger shape your words. You refuse to let pain decide your identity. There's a divine power in a peaceful heart. When you're at peace, your vision clears. You begin to see people for who they are, not what they've done. You begin to respond to pain with understanding instead of resentment. You begin to build instead of break, heal instead of harm. Peace makes you powerful because it allows you to stay true to yourself when everything around you calls you to lose yourself. It's a quiet resistance in a sacred strength that can't be bought or taught. It's something you cultivate in the depths of surrender. Every time you choose peace over chaos, you reclaim control over your life. You reclaim your energy from the things that drain it. You reclaim your mind from the thoughts that enslave it. You reclaim your heart from the people and situations that don't deserve to live rent-free inside it. It's not that you don't care. It's that you've learned to care differently. You've learned that peace is not about escaping conflict, but about confronting it with grace. It's about knowing who you are so deeply that nothing outside of you can disturb that knowing. Think about it. How many times have you lost your power because you lost your peace? How many moments of your life were stolen because you allowed someone else's chaos to dictate your calm? The truth is, peace doesn't leave you. You leave peace. Every time you chase validation, every time you let anger control you, every time you react instead of reflect, you step out of your peace and into the chaos that was never meant to define you. But when you return to peace, you return to power. You remember that strength is not in shouting back, but in staying still. It's not in proving your worth, but in knowing it. The most powerful people are not those who control others. They are those who have learned to control themselves. They've mastered the art of silence when the world expects noise. They've chosen forgiveness when the ego demands revenge. They've chosen understanding when judgment was easier. Peace gives you that power. The power to choose better, to love deeper, to live freer. And every time you hold on to peace, even when everything around you says you shouldn't, you become stronger than the storm itself. Because peace isn't a sign that life is easy. It's a sign that your soul has matured, that your heart has grown, that your faith has deepened. It's not given, it's built. Through tears, through trials, through letting go of what doesn't serve your growth anymore. Your peace is your shield, your compass, your quiet form of power that no one can steal unless you give it away. And once you realize that peace is not found in what you control, but in how you trust, you become unstoppable. Because when you are at peace, nothing can move you except the one who made you. Chaos has a way of exposing what we truly believe. It's easy to speak of patience when life is calm, to preach faith when everything is going according to plan, to talk about peace when the waters are still. But the real test begins when life becomes unpredictable, when your plans collapse, when people disappoint you, when prayers seem unanswered, when nothing makes sense anymore. That's when your inner truth reveals itself. Chaos strips away all illusions. It shows you what's real inside you. It shows whether your peace was built on circumstances or on conviction, whether your trust was built on outcomes or on surrender. When everything around you shakes, what you have built within you either stands or falls. Life will test the foundation of your peace, because peace that is never tested cannot be trusted. You will encounter moments that will challenge your faith to its very core. Moments that will whisper doubts into your heart. That will make you question everything you once believed. But these moments are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to deepen you. And they are invitations to rediscover who you are beneath the noise, beneath the fear, beneath the expectations of others. Chaos is not your enemy, it's your mirror. It reflects the parts of you that still need healing, the parts that still depend on control, the parts that still mistake comfort for peace. In times of chaos, the heart wants to rush, to react, to fix everything immediately. It wants to grab control, to make sense of what feels senseless. But true peace doesn't come from control. It comes from release. It comes from that quiet whisper inside that says, I may not understand this now, but I am still held. The storm outside can rage, but it doesn't have to enter your soul. You can sit in uncertainty and still be grounded in faith. You can experience loss and still hold on to gratitude. You can walk through confusion and still trust that clarity will come in time. That's the kind of peace that cannot be shaken, because it doesn't depend on understanding. It depends on trust. Think of every storm you faced. How many times did you think you wouldn't make it through? Yet here you are, still standing, maybe even stronger than before. Every test, every heartbreak, every delay was carving something sacred inside you. It was teaching you to stop fighting the flow of life and start aligning with it. To stop trying to predict everything and start trusting that there is purpose even in the unknown. Chaos becomes a classroom where the soul learns to surrender. It teaches you to stop clinging to outcomes and start anchoring yourself in faith. It reminds you that peace is not found when everything makes sense, but when you are willing to rest, even when it doesn't. When you begin to see chaos differently, it loses its power to frighten you. And you start to recognize that storms don't come to drown you. They come to reveal you. They uncover the strength that peace built in you. They remind you that your worth is not in your control, but in your connection to something far greater. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? Because every test holds a hidden lesson. Every delay carries divine timing. And every heartbreak carries healing disguised as pain. Peace does not mean the absence of chaos. It means being calm in the middle of it. It means being still even when the wind howls. It means believing that even this confusion, this uncertainty, this silence has meaning. The peace that comes after chaos is beautiful, but the peace that survives within chaos is powerful. That's the peace that transforms you. That's the peace that gives you eyes to see light even in the dark. It's not about denying your emotions or pretending everything is fine. It's about letting your emotions move through you without letting them define you. It's about feeling the storm and still choosing to trust the one who controls it. When chaos tests you, it's not to destroy you, it's to prepare you, to make your peace stronger, deeper, more rooted, so that the next time life trembles, you don't, so that you learn that peace is not a fragile state that can be taken away, but a living strength that grows with every storm you survive. Chaos doesn't take your peace, it refines it. It turns surface calm into soul, deep certainty. It teaches you that peace was never about avoiding storms. It was about learning how to dance in the rain. There's a sacred space between what happens to you and how you respond to it. And that space holds your peace, your dignity, your power. Life will constantly offer you opportunities to react, to get angry, to prove a point, to defend yourself, to let emotions take the driver's seat. But peace teaches you the art of response. A reaction is impulsive, born from pain or pride. It's the voice of the ego shouting, I need to control this. A response, on the other hand, is born from clarity. It's calm, intentional, and wise. It comes from a place of strength, not fear. The difference between reaction and response determines whether you are ruled by the chaos or ruling over it. When you react, you give away your power. When you respond, you reclaim it. Peace doesn't mean that you stop feeling. It means that your feelings no longer control you. There will be moments when someone's words sting, when betrayal cuts deep, when disappointment burns quietly inside. The temptation will be to lash out, to say something just to ease the discomfort, to prove that you are right or that you won't be walked over. But every time you choose silence over impulse, grace over revenge, understanding over judgment, you grow stronger. You begin to master yourself instead of trying to master the world around you. That mastery is not easy. It requires humility to pause before speaking, patience to breathe before reacting, and wisdom to ask yourself, is my peace worth losing over this? Reactions are quick, but they cost you something every time. They drain your energy, cloud your judgment, and often lead to regret. But responses are deliberate. They restore your balance. They honor your peace. They align you with wisdom instead of emotion. Every time you choose to respond instead of react, you remind yourself that you are not at the mercy of your circumstances. You are not a product of what people do to you. You are a reflection of what you choose to do in return. Peaceful people are not those who never get angry. They are those who refuse to let anger lead them astray. They understand that reacting may feel satisfying in the moment, but responding is what sustains you in the long run. Imagine how different life would feel if you stopped letting every small irritation steal your calm. If you stopped allowing every opinion to shake your confidence. If you stopped needing to defend yourself against every misunderstanding. That's where true peace begins. Not when the world stops provoking you, but when you stop being easily provoked. When you realize that your inner world is too sacred to be disturbed by things that will not matter in the light of eternity. When you realize that every time you respond with calm instead of chaos, you are protecting something priceless within yourself. The most powerful souls don't shout to prove their strength. They whisper peace into situations that could have become storms. They choose to be still when others are loud, to be kind when others are cruel, to be wise when others are reckless. They've learned that not everything needs a reaction, and not every battle deserves your energy. Sometimes silence is not weakness, it's strategy. Sometimes walking away is not surrender, it's wisdom. Sometimes forgiving is not forgetting, it's freeing yourself from the weight of what was never yours to carry. Reaction is easy because it comes from emotion. Response is difficult because it comes from awareness. That's why peace requires growth. It asks you to rise above your impulses and act from intention. It teaches you to see beyond the immediate and to remember what truly matters. You start to realize that your response determines your future far more than your situation does. You cannot control what people say about you, but you can control whether their words disturb your peace. You cannot stop challenges from coming, but you can decide whether they harden your heart or refine your character. Every moment you are faced with a choice to react like everyone else or to respond like someone who knows their peace is sacred. When you choose the latter, you shift from being a victim of life to a leader of your own soul. You step into a power that doesn't come from dominance or control, but from discipline and clarity. And the more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. You stop being easily moved, easily angered, easily drained. You become a steady presence in an unsteady world. The beauty of peace is that it gives you perspective. You begin to see that most battles aren't worth fighting. Most opinions don't deserve your attention, and most conflicts lose power when ignored. You learn that not responding is sometimes the most powerful response of all. Because when you master the space between reaction and response, you master yourself. And when you master yourself, no one, not circumstances, not people, not pain, can steal your peace. There will come moments in life when everything around you begins to shake. The plans you thought were solid start to crumble. The people you leaned on walk away. The prayers you made seem to echo in silence. It feels like the ground beneath you has disappeared, and suddenly you're suspended between fear and faith. Those are the moments when you discover what truly anchors you. Because peace is not proven in the calm, it's proven in the quake. It's easy to be still when the waters are gentle, but when the waves rise, your anchor is tested. You begin to realize that peace isn't something you find once and keep forever. It's something you return to again and again, especially when everything else falls apart. Your anchor is what keeps you grounded when emotions swirl and thoughts spiral. It's what holds you steady when everything you counted on starts to shift. And for most people, that anchor is misplaced. They anchor their peace in people, in money, in success, in recognition, in outcomes they can't control. But those things were never designed to hold the weight of your soul. That's why, when they fail, your peace fails with them. Because peace tied to something temporary will always be temporary. The secret is to anchor your heart in something eternal, in something that doesn't change when life does. When you learn to anchor your peace in faith, in trust, in the unchanging truth that you are guided even when you can't see the path, you begin to stand still while everything else sways. When storms come, you have a choice. You can fight the waves or you can anchor deeper. Fighting exhausts you, but anchoring centers you. It's in those moments when you whisper to yourself, even if I don't understand this, Even if I can't see the end, I will not lose my calm. That's the power of inner anchoring. It's not denial. It's discipline. It's training your heart to stay still when your mind wants to panic. It's teaching your soul to trust when your world feels uncertain. The storm may be loud, but peace whispers louder. It tells you that everything shaking is only revealing what cannot be shaken. It reminds you that sometimes, losing your grip is what teaches you to hold on to what truly matters. The truth is, life will shake you until your anchor is real. It will strip away false securities, remove what you depended on too much, and expose the illusions you mistook for stability. It's not punishment, it's purification. Because every time life shakes you, it's giving you a chance to rebuild on something stronger. You may lose what you thought you needed, but you gain what your soul was truly seeking: depth, faith, surrender, peace. It's through those tremors that you begin to realize that peace isn't fragile. It's forged. It's built in the moments you thought you'd break, yet somehow you didn't. It's built in the nights when you cried but still prayed. It's built in the silence where you learn to listen instead of complain. Anchoring yourself doesn't mean pretending that pain doesn't hurt or that disappointment doesn't sting. It means you no longer allow those things to define your spirit. It means you've decided that your peace is worth protecting more than your pride is worth defending. You begin to hold your calm as sacred, guarding it against every thought and emotion that tries to steal it. You learn to pause before reacting, to breathe before breaking, to step back before speaking. You start to realize that not everything requires your fight. Some things simply require your faith. The storms of life may test you, but they cannot destroy what is anchored in the truth. Think of the ocean. The surface is constantly in motion, waves crashing, winds blowing, but deep beneath it's still calm, untouched. That's what peace feels like when it's anchored deep within you. No matter what's happening above, you remain steady below. You stop being a slave to external change because your stability comes from something internal. And the more you practice anchoring your peace, the less the world can pull you away from it. You start to live from the inside out, not the outside in. You stop waiting for calm to come to you and start carrying calm within you. Anchoring your peace means trusting that even when life shakes, you are not abandoned. That the same power that calms storms also lives within you. That what feels like falling apart might actually be life rearranging itself for your growth. It's understanding that you can't control the storm, but you can control your anchor. You can choose to ground yourself in faith, gratitude, patience, and surrender. You can choose to say, I will not be moved. Because peace that is anchored doesn't depend on the absence of storms. It depends on the depth of your roots. And when your roots are deep, no storm can uproot your soul.